Assalamualaikum friends. Today we are going to explain some important points in Culture and Imperialism by Adward Said. But before that, do subscribe this channel and press the bell icon for more updates. Thank you. So, number one point is that the economies were hungry for overseas markets, raw materials, cheap labor, and profitable land. This referred to the requirements of 19th century industrial development. The fast developing European industries needed enormous amount of raw materials like minerals and agriculture products. Iron, copper, coal and oil were in great demand. The local output in Britain and France fell short of the ever growing requirements. Therefore, they had to look for those material in other countries. The underdeveloped countries of Asia and Africa were rich in these resources, but they lacked the requisite technology to utilize them locally or export them. So, the developed countries, chiefly Britain and France, got a good excuse to lay their hands on those resources by capturing those states with claiming of developing their economy and civilizing the people. This is what happened in the subcontinent and some other countries of Asia and Africa. Cheap labor was another great advantage abundantly available in these unfortunate countries. The destitute, uneducated natives welcomed employment even at miserably low wages. The second point is that the US was founded as an empire, a dominion state of sovereignty that would expand in population and territory and increase in power. The verse shows that the concept of a big, rich empire was implied in the very idea of the United States. Primarily, the aim was to annex the Northern Territory by force and to dominate, exterminate, and dislodge the natives. Gradually, after achieving these ends, it was found necessary to designate distant lands as vital to American interests. Hence, the interventions and struggles for supremacy in the Philippines, Europe, Middle East, Vietnam, and Korea. Same was the purpose of the recent capture of Iraq. The flimsy excuse of search for WMDs ended in fiasco as no trace of such weapons was found there. Ouster of Saddam was then announced as the objective to be achieved through war on Iraq. But the real objective, the whole world knows, was to get hold of the immense reservoirs of oil in Iraq. Saddam was to be replaced with a hand-picked regime which would make no bones about compliance with US demands. So the third point is that neither imperialism nor colonialism is a simple act of accumulation and acquisition. It's not just a matter of going out there and getting a territory and sitting on it. Both of these practices are supported and even impelled by impressive cultural formations that include ideas that certain territories require and besiege domination. Here, Adward Said means to say that the imperialists justify their domination as the need of the country and the people they dominate. Their propaganda machinery makes it out to be an act of charity, a favor to the people, an act of their liberation from the tyranny of unpopular local rulers and restoration of their usurped rights and efforts to improve the economy and ensure healthy social life. The simple, honest natives easily fall for such noble promises. They look upon their exploiters as their saviors and readily cooperate with them to bring about their own doom. So the fourth point is that colonialism and imperialism did not pay their dues when they withdrew their flags and police forces from our territories. This said by Franz Fanon. Said quotes an African writer Franz Fanon who aptly comments on the behavior of imperialists. The dues they had incurred out to have been paid before they left. Some of the dues, of course, could not be paid, but in the form of humbly begged pardon. For instance, the laws of native life in case of revolt or in fighting wars of the rulers like World War I and World War II could in no way be repaired. Apology, however, would have been in order. But the imperialists just did not care to apologize. Their arrogance did not allow them to bow before the people over whom they had ruled. As for the financial loss suffered by the land and the people, that should have been repaired as far as possible. Ironically, even independence was bestowed on the natives as a favor, although it could no longer be held back in the changed post war situation. The next fifth point is that which Adward said it's an absolute requirement of the Western system of ideology that a vast gulf be established between the civilized West with its traditional commitment to human dignity, liberty, and self-determination, and the barbaric brutality of those who, for some reason, perhaps defective genes, fail to appreciate the depth of this historical commitment. These are the words of Noam Chomsky. He exposes the Western claims of civilizing the uncivilized people of Asia and Africa. The Western ideology projects a traditional commitment of the West to ensure human dignity, liberty, and self determination, as well as self sufficient economy. In principle, it appeared to be a noble ideology, but in practice, it served the interest of the Western imperial powers. They see to it that the poor nations should remain poor so that they may rule over them through the various money lending agencies like the World Bank and IMF, etc. Imperial hold has now taken the form of hold on economy, and this too is made out to be favor to the poor nation held in subjection.